Hi, I'm Morel. I'm a digital media teacher at Orange County School of the Arts, and today I want to talk to you about setting realistic goals. Goals! You've probably already been told how important it is to have some strong goals for your future. Goals are a great way to get you where you want to be, but if you don't set up proper goals, you might find yourself frustrated and burnt out. Here are some tips for creating good goals. Goals should be specific, realistic, broken down into simple steps, and flexible to account for daily life. Let's take a look at some good goals versus some bad goals. I want to be better at drawing figures from observation is a great goal. It's specific, and it's easy to figure out the steps you would need to take to work on this goal. On the contrary, I want to be the best artist ever is not a good goal. It's too vague to break down into steps and also unattainable. There is no best artist that exists. I want to fill a sketchbook every 2 months is another good goal. It's realistic and achievable. However, I want to fill a sketchbook every week is not realistic. No one can really do this while also living a normal life. I want to attend CalArts for animation is another good goal. It is a large goal, but it can be broken down into steps or a to-do list by researching application requirements. The goal of I'm going to get an industry job straight out of high school is admirable, but it's also totally out of your control. Let's get more specific. How do you apply goals to pieces of artwork and projects? Well, here are some steps to help you. First, you want to know your main goal. What are you trying to convey with your piece? If this piece is for an assignment or a project, meeting the criteria for that project is the main goal of the piece. Once you know what your main goal is and you achieve it, you can call your piece done. Any further refining would be up to you. Number 2, break down your main goal into bite-sized goals. Once you know your main goal, you'll want to avoid becoming overwhelmed by breaking that goal down into several smaller steps you can achieve one at a time, kind of like making yourself a checklist. How small you want the goals to be will be up to you. Find what format works for your workflow. Number 3, get outside opinions. Does your work look appealing and clear to people outside your own head? Remember, no one else can see what goals you had for your work in your own mind. Make sure your intentions are clear, but don't stress too much about making your final product exactly what you imagined. Number 4, decide a focus for each piece. Trying to just generally become a better artist with one piece is an overwhelming task. Instead, try focusing on one area you're going to work on improving in each piece. In this piece, will you focus on your color choice? How about making that one important panel in your comic convey a subtle emotion that is difficult to show visually? Or maybe in this piece, you'll focus on nailing the 2-point perspective on the environment. By focusing on one area of improvement per piece, you will slowly build up your skill set. Striving for a perfect piece every time will only lead to burnout. Pay attention to your own skill set and speed. How long does it take you to sketch a character? An environment? How about inking and coloring? Becoming aware of your own limits and then setting realistic goals based on that is important. This practice helps you develop good work habits for the future, which will help with meeting due dates and deadlines. Start keeping track now so you don't overload yourself in the future. Now let's talk about perfectionism. Many artists struggle with wanting their work to be perfect. Sometimes this drive can give us motivation to improve, but it can also become a big hindrance to our work output and growth. We must accept that perfection is unreachable, and when we do so, we can focus on our actual, manageable goals. And in an even more practical sense, industries are too fast-paced for us to strive for perfection. Most industry jobs involve some sort of conceptual work, which requires a lot of explorative work and rough preliminary art. Very few pieces are taken to full completion. For example, a 90-minute animated film requires thousands of storyboards for its development. Can you imagine the amount of time and effort required if each storyboard had to be a perfect drawing instead of a simple, clear sketch? It's time to recognize that finished and perfect are not the same thing. Oftentimes, making a piece good enough is going to be enough. Put in the proper amount of work to be able to call a piece finished, but accept that a piece can always be refined further if you have the time. A piece is finished when it meets the goals or criteria for the purpose your piece is serving, whether that's an assignment, or a project, or just for fun. Now, don't misunderstand. I don't want you to just turn in work that you've rushed through or haven't put your full effort into. Sometimes it's good to push your limits to the max. Just be smart about when a deadline allows you that time and when you just need to call a project done. That's all I have to say about setting goals. I hope you'll join me next time. See you later.